It doesn't go anywhere. It's just boring. I need something exciting to keep me interested in training.
Hey you, do you need something to spice up your training?
Huh?
Then do I have the tool for you?
No way.
Coming from the makers of My Darkest Demons and Overthinking 101 comes My Mind Incorporated's latest invention. Paper on a string. Made from 100% reused material, it is the training tool sweeping the nation. I know, impressive, isn't it?
Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying thank you guys so much for dealing with my nonsense. I had a lot of fun making that other thing. I had to learn some new tricks. And sorry it's been a little bit since I posted something. I've had some issues. My furnace went down. That's still not fixed. And just life happens. But I do have a base layer of content now. So unless I get a really cool idea that's sporadic, I'm probably only going to be posting about one video a week now. Just to make sure that I have enough time to edit and make sure that we have some quality content. I don't want to just put out a bunch of quantity and let the quality start to drop, and I'm learning some new editing tricks. So anyway, let's get into the video. So, despite the beginning of this video, this actually is a training tool. I used to live with my parents when I was in high school, and I would use this all the time. We didn't have the space to put up a heavy bag. We did have a deck, and so my dad ended up drilling an anchor onto the deck so I could hang it there. It was still this heavy bag. It's lasted me that long, 7 years. But I have to drag it out of the crawl space and hang it up, and then take it back in case it would rain or so animals didn't get a hold of it and it didn't get covered in bird shit. So I had a workout before I did it, so a lot of times if I was tired or it was late at night, it was already dark or the weather was bad, I had to come up with something else. And this is what I came up with. And in all honesty, I stole this. If you guys have ever seen the movie series Never Back Down, this was used as a training tool in Never Back Down 2. Now, I never was able to mimic Michael J. White's trick where he punched the paper and it did not move, it just tore. However, it is still a useful training tool even if you can't do that. What I mean, right, you can't really work on your power, but it does help with accuracy, right? What I mean is after I hit this, it's going to start swinging around, right? So if I stand here and I pop, it's going to start floating. So I got to make sure my punches are nice and strong. Now, there's a couple different things that I can do when I'm using the paper. One, I can tell if I'm doing a nice snap, because the snappier my punch, the less it does move around, right? If I drive all the way through, I push the paper, it starts floating. If I get that nice snap on it, well, that's a bad example. Let's see. Let's use my jab snap here, right? It still moves, right? Something's hitting it, it's a free floating object, but not as much. Now, the other thing I can do is I can make it move on purpose. Boom. I can use that to work my head movement and my defense. But, you know, I don't get the resistance of a bag, but on a budget, it's a nice training tool. If you don't have a lot of space for a bag, whether it's a good replacement to this, if you have the money and the space for gear, it's a double wing bag. Or they even make a tool like this. It's basically a tennis ball on a rope that you hang from the ceiling. Both of those, better alternatives. No arguing that. But if you're broke, you don't have the space, you don't have a supplier, this is a good way to go, right? So, even on a budget, even if you don't have a gym around, not ideal circumstances, but you can still be training. So, I'm going to start a series of videos thrown in sporadically with everything else of improvised training tools, or even just ways to take tools you have and use them differently. For example, coming up soon, I will show you how I use a kick pad as a grappling dummy. It's not the most creative thing, but use resources. There are lots of other martial artists out there in the world. A lot of them are on social media, and everyone wants to show that cool thing that they do. Use it. There's a reason why somebody else is doing it. And at this day and age, with as many years as martial artists have been around, and as much information as we have available right here in our pockets, there's no reason not to use every resource available. If you really want to get better at martial arts, copy from other people. Greatest form of flattery is imitation. And at this point in history, pretty much everyone's tried everything. You might find little tweaks. You might come up with a tweak yourself and do something different. But in all honesty, at least when it comes to training, somebody's probably thought of it before you. So try to find it, look for creative ideas, and that's all I got for you. So let's get back to training. See you guys next time. Peace.